Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode number 7. So, last season, of course, we had that abject failure. We lost our sponsor. We had less money to work with this season than last, and yet I still signed more riders than we were losing. So, we were looking at a potential financial crisis, though I figured we were going to be close enough that we ultimately should be okay. Well, to really help with that being okay process, a couple things have happened. One, we got our end of year financial bonus that helped us out quite a bit, put us up into nearly $300,000. That was a huge chunk of change that helped out significantly and would ultimately make it okay anyway. However, we still want to make sure we're taking care of our long-term needs, and some of the staff that we had was pretty dang expensive. We had a nice scout, we had one expensive trainer, so we have gone and swapped things out a bit. And we still have Douglas Dawson, our modern trainer, but we now have a much more affordable, just regional reputation trainer in the groundbreaking category, saving us quite a bit of money. We have a scout that's a lot more affordable, saving us quite a bit of money. So this is where we now sit on that. What we're spending here, combined with intake and our staff salary, all of that, we now have a deficit of $11,000 per month. So we're losing $11K per month. Winnings like what we just got in our first race, which was our first sponsor objective and was actually a success, and actually was a double maximum bonus success. So kudos to us on that result. It was still only a 4th place, but considering there was multiple World Tour teams, that was a fantastic result. Next up, though, Tour of Colombia, and this is going to be a lot harder. There are 2 stages that are pretty difficult finishing climbs. Stage 4 is classified as punchy, but for our team, that's looking much more like a pretty serious climb. 5 is definitely a typical punchy climb, while 6 is going to be a hard climb. So it's going to be difficult, as we are not great on the climbs, to come away with a result on those 2 stages and not drop back too far. Top 10 overall is the objective, and like I said, it's going to be tough. Stages 1 through 3, quick sprint stages. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the final kilometers on each of those 3 stages, and then we'll get to the serious work on stage 4. Final 10 kilometers on stage number 1, Tour of Colombia. There are, for one thing, there's a lot of really good sprinters here. Gaviria is the favorite, and we can't compete with those guys. So I'll be lucky to get a top 5 on any of these 3 stages, but doesn't mean I won't try to do something. But it also means instead of riding for Hawaiian, I'm going to start riding for Vermark right away. Actually, should I be ready for? Yeah, 67. Zeta not as good on the mountains, so he's getting kind of the free ride. Athil actually should be the guy, more so than Zeta. So why don't we swap this out? We're going to put Zeta up here, and Athil is going to get free ride as well. So we swap that out a little bit, and Tony, go ahead and jump onto the back.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
Okay, well, for a rare change, I'm actually in a good position right now, starting out. We're going to start pushing 3.5K out. It's the only way I have any sort of chance, is we've got to attack early, often, hard, because we are so much weaker. I mean, you can see I'm sprinting and these guys are burning past me. So 2K to go. Elian now. with his lead out. 1.2K for Mark. It's a little early. Here we go for Mark. Yeah. Top 10 is all we're going to manage in these. Gaviria easily takes the win. Bedial second. Pascalon. Yershav. Nasin. Van Barl. Peso. We get 10th. And that's what I'm in for this whole race, I think.
The riders bringing up their rear have made it through sheer willpower. End up in a mass sprint.
Final 7.5K to go. Approaching the finish. $6K to go. Banijek's done. Zeta, on to you. 5.5K to go.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
4K to go. Zeta, we're going to start a sprint. 3.5K. Telford now.
And they keep on attacking. Anyone that's
Okay, he's got a good little bit of speed there. On to Owayan. 1.8. Leads out for Mark. This should be better, but we're still... Owayan is a better sprinter than Vermark, but he doesn't have the stamina. So Vermark should be doing the sprint, but then because Owayan's a little bit better sprinter, it's using Vermark's energy a little bit too much. He's not great on the flat, so he's not keeping pace with Owayan terribly well, so it's using his... So either way, I swap these two around, they are not an efficient pairing for lead out and sprinter, either order that I run them in. So it looks like Athil's going to end up being the guy to go today, and Athil's going to end up over the top, I would think, of the other two. Either way, we're, again, not looking at much better than about 10th. Gaviria easily wins. Van Poppel second. Nasen. Yershav again fourth. Bedial. Pascalon as green. And we miss the top 10 entirely with an 11, 12, 13 American trio. That was my best turn of pace, guys, but not quite putting it together. Maybe I need to put Athil out there and try to lead out Owayan and Vermark till a little bit later for those guys. And that could maybe go a little bit better for us, but then Athil doesn't have the speed to really put us in a position late on. Coming down to maybe the final, instead of starting at 2K for those two guys, try to get them down to maybe 1.2, 1.3 to start whichever one of those two is going, which would be Owayan ahead of Vermark. But that means we won't be in as good of a lead-out position for that, but it's worth a shot trying to mess around with their setup. Alright, stage 3, last sprint stage of this race, and then things are going to start getting pretty serious on this next stage. So we're inside the 5 kilometer banner now. Banijek leading us out. Athil was in the break, but he only managed to take third over the KOM. Just wasn't strong enough. He actually barely was even able to be in that breakaway of 3, as the other two guys were quite a bit stronger than he was. So KOM is going to be a bit of a challenge, but Athil is very much the natural selection for that. And we're down to the final 2K, so we begin our sprint. Telford. Okay, 1K. This is where I wanted to be, because now Owayan is leading out Vermark, and Owayan's going to do damage on Vermark, but Vermark gets to go a little bit later in the process now. 400 meters. You can see his energy draining almost as fast as Owayan's, and actually he's not even going to overtake his teammate. We're going to be just outside of the top 5. Danny Van Poppel takes the win for Mitchelton Scott, Nasen, Bedial, Gaviria, Pascalon, and then Owayan and Vermark in 6th and 7th. Certainly not a bad result for a little team like us without any pure sprinters as of yet. That's certainly something I'm going to look for next season as we again continue our reshaping of the team. Stage 4, it's classified punchy, but the final climb is, I think, a little beyond punchers unless your name is Alaphilippe. So, which he happens to be here, by the way. So he'll win 6 kilometers, 7% with a max of 11, especially there at the finish. That for a team like my team is going to be seen more as a mountain stage and have to be kind of handled with care. Can't be too aggressive. We certainly want to go for survival and not for a stage victory or something. We want to try to make sure we don't get dropped and get as high of a placement as we can with the full team supporting the effort. Okay, here we go. Now, for Mark's the only one with any red bar left, which is very worrying. 1.5k Zeta, can you give me whatever acceleration you've got? Thank you. And we're down the order. This is not a good placement to be, but for Mark, start moving up. It's 1k, and there are riders all over the road that we just cannot get through, so give me your 99. Carapaz ahead of Alaphilippe, ahead of Froome. Tollett way up in 4th place. Pogacar, Higuita, Landa, usual suspects there. And in fact, the whole rest of the top 11. Really surprised about Tollett. Big names all over the road. It's already 55 seconds. There's going to be gaps in here somewhere, guaranteed. Mark does get my highest placement, but he is all the way down in 30th. He's certainly in the middle of a group, so he shouldn't lose too much time, but they're going to give gaps, which means he probably lost some time, which certainly means our top 10 is in jeopardy. And the real climb is stage 6. This was supposed to be just punchy. Wow, look at those gaps. Carapaz, Alaphilippe, then Froome's group, Carthy's group. Lots of gaps given. Where are we? We're in the 1 minute group, which ends up being the huge one all the way down to 48th, but that hurt on time. It hurt on time a lot because Vermark had picked up a little time, I thought, hadn't he? 3rd? No? That was the last race, apparently. So all the way down in 22nd position for Vermark. And it's going to take time losses from these other guys to move up any higher, so it's looking like we're now fighting for a top 25, not a top 10, which means we're looking at partial failure. If we could stay top 25, at least not complete failure. Below 26th and below would be a total failure. Final 10K on stage number 5. This one is an actual punchy stage, one that we are hoping to be a little more competitive in than the previous ones as we get down to 7K to go. It's not that steep, it's not that long. Having a strong position can make a real difference, and from 5K out, Telford's going to begin attacking, trying to keep us at the front as best we can. So now 4K to go, we're going to go ahead and use everybody's gel. So Owain attacking the base of the climb. Now he doesn't have a ton of speed, but he's keeping us near the front. So just fast enough. You can see it's using energy behind him, but only gradually, and Owain actually hanging on really well. As Banajek now attacks 1.8K to go. It looks like Tentani is also getting used up, but not too fast. We're down to 1.3, and we're still in a really strong position on this one. There we go. Tentani doesn't even actually get past Banajek. That's okay. It's not perfect when you have a very less than perfect team. Athil, though, nice effort from Athil. Now on to Zeta and Vermark, who are in a great position entering the final kilometer. What can they do for us? 500 meters to go. I want Zeta to keep going just a little bit longer. Okay, Vermark, I want to get down to 400. There we go. It's going to cost me what could be a win, but if we can get a little break and get a 4th place here, this could be a little time game. Pogacar, Bilbao, Toynes. He has gotten more than a bike length away from anybody else. I think Vermark should have a time gap. Hagit, the best climber, is going to end up winning the King of the Mountain. Adapuma has equaled Athil on points. Athil, I put him in the break, but he couldn't hang on to it. 6 riders got away, and they were still being chased pretty hard by the field. One by one started dropping away. Athil was the 3rd one dropped, bringing it down to 3, and then after the first couple climbs, it ended up dropping down to 2. But Athil, as you can see, still has not recovered because the field has kept up the kind of pace that's difficult to recover on for the entirety of this stage. So we're going to go over the... Oh, shoot. Athil... Well, okay. Even if I set Athil right now, right? And I might do it. It's 6 points. Now, it would give him that lead by a little gap, but it's only going to put him 8 points ahead of the front climbers. There's 20 points at the end of this climb. So the best climbers are going to pick up those points. And what that means is... He's not even going to get there anyway. He can't get out of the group. It's too late. Too close. He still has a 2-point lead, but... Atapuma's not a problem. Carapaz, Pogacar, they are. So one of those guys will end up winning the KOM, not Athil. We certainly gave it a shot today, but it just wasn't to be. And we're going to set ourselves up here for the difficult task. Now, Athil, I want you to get back up here behind... Oh, and then to add to our difficult task today, Kevin Vermark, our leader, -3 race day condition. When it rains, it pours, and it's pouring metaphorically right now because at least it's not pouring in the game world. At least it's a nice, dry, warm day. It is Colombia, after all. Doesn't mean you don't get plenty of rain showers. How far off the ocean here? Already seeing quite a bit of fatigue within, and let's get this to an 85. We want to hold position as best we can, and I will sacrifice guys as they go down. We'll quickly condense down who's supporting who, but we want to try to hold this position for a while as best we can and burn through. So Bajek's going to be one of the first to go. We're going to go ahead and use his gel now. Okay, Telford's already fading, so we'll use his gel. We're going to use Owayan's gel. Owayan, you're supposed to be protecting Vermark. Where there's Vermark on the wrong side of the road. Tintani holding the front a little bit better. Banajek still... Oh, his gel kicks in right as it's done. Yeah, that's not good.
Wow, that's one attack that's going to leave a good view in its wake.
Okay, Banajek out the back. Down to 85 in the peloton. Owayan is not done. He just got caught up for a moment. Zeta, where are you? Zeta, you're doing okay. Athil is done. Get him out of here. Owayan's still hanging on. Vermark is still hanging on. Telford is done. Zeta, I want you to follow Vermark. Don't get dropped here. Don't get dropped. Get up there. There you go. Alright, Owayan is going to be done here in a moment, so Zeta is going to be taking over. Use your gel. Shoot, Vermark just got dropped. Mark, go forward. Come on, Tintani is the only one still hanging on. Use your gel. I'm going to slow you down a little bit. Front one is away. Pogacar, Carapaz have broken away. I'm not worried about top two positions. What I'm worried about is trying to get inside that top 25. And we just missed a group of 14. Okay, go 99. You've got support. But it looks like Tintani is now, as our top climber, a 73 today, hanging on. He is in that top 25, but only just, and he's only 45th, so he's not in that best placement as we have 1K to go. He's got a little bit of energy that I can try to attack with in the final couple hundred meters and maybe leave this group behind. Pogacar wins the stage. Told you Pogacar or Carapaz were going to end up claiming 900 meters. I'm sliding backwards here. Get off the edge of the road, please. 700 meters. 500 meters. Okay, give me an acceleration. Okay, here comes the next group. This is going to put it up to about rider 16 or so, 17. Okay, sprint, Tintani, sprint. 18th on the stage. For Mark and Zeta, 45-46. This will be interesting if we get Tintani up into the top 25 or not. 18th on the stage is a good indicator that we might have cracked the top 25, but it's far from guaranteed that that'll be the case. Top 10's definitely not happened. And the KUM didn't happen. We tried, we gave it a shot, but those time gaps are big. That could be good. That could be good for that hopes of a top 25. So 410. 410 is the gap here. Really? O'Connor, Yershov, and Van Barl were not in contact with Tantani and Henao. There was definitely a few seconds between them, but I suppose that's not the worst. It's just that it keeps time gaps similar to 22nd, which means 23rd on down are the ones we're hoping are far enough back, and then there's your 25, and there's only a 20-second gap. We were about 40 seconds behind, but then there's your 40 seconds behind Volgrid. We gotta hope one or two of these guys. I think we might just squeeze into the top 25. We're not in this top 16. Pogačar wins the race. Carapaz second. Hagita is third. Let's see. Not in the top 20. Not in the top 24. Oh, 25th. 25th place. Wow. Okay. Now, that's still a failure, but it's a failure that could have been significantly worse because, again, there's success, and then there's great success. So, if they want top 10, if you get top 5 or above, you get an even better mark. If you get top 10, you get what you were expected. You don't get top 10, you fail. But there's actually two levels of failing. There's the not good, which is the next level down. From top 10, that means top 25 is a partial failure. And then 26th on down is total failure. We got a partial failure. Points, nothing. Yeah, Athel dropped to 5th place. And not even close to Pogačar. 10th as a team. That's actually really not. Mitchelton Scott was 45 minutes behind. We were 15. Not bad for a Continental team amongst a bunch of World Tour teams like Mitchelton Scott. And it's weird to see that Movie Star is a Continental Pro team now. You saw that happen? Yeah, that happened. And they're still maintaining their sponsorship even for next season after that happened. Well, they're happy right now. Are they? Are they actually happy right now? How are they happy right now? Okay, no, that's what I expected. Not so happy, but not so mad. So, how do we still get a red? Where's the partial failure notification? That should have been orange, not red. They wanted a top 10. We got top 25. Oh, man. And somehow they're happy here, but not elsewhere. Oh, we wore the Climbers jersey. There you go. Okay, so we got something out of that. Okay, a couple minor objectives coming up soon. And by soon, I mean like our next couple races. And then we finally have a month where we're going to be able to skip ahead a bit and quick sim. So early season, we're really forced to play things out and kind of let things develop. So far, we're hanging on to acceptable. We're at about a 60% evaluation, considering we ended last season at like 4 or 5%. Things are going well. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.